Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to all across the Delaware Valley. It is Super Bowl week. So a happy Tuesday of Super Bowl week. You know what we're going to do? I'm looking forward to it. We're going to look at the Super Bowls because it is Super Bowl week. Each of the shows, the remaining of the week, will focus on the Eagles' Super Bowl appearance in this century. So today we will relive 2004 and Jacksonville. Then tomorrow, 2017, baby. Then Thursday, 2022, and the Sod Father. And on Friday, let's revisit and relive last year, which was, I think, my favorite. Look, the first is still the first, and the first was, I guess, unto its own. But boy, man, I loved last year. Last year was a blast. It was so much fun. So let's dive into a little bit with 2004. Because in 2004, remember the culmination. And for those of you that don't remember 04, the Eagles hadn't been to the Super Bowl since 1980. So it had been a long time since they were able to get to the Super Bowl. Chapter and verse, I'll give it to you, the history of it. Andy Reid comes in as the no-name coach in 1999. It was a dismal, dark period for the Eagles that culminated in Ray Rhodes getting fired. Andy Reid gets hired. People go, wait, who's Andy Reid? Quarterbacks coach? What? I told the story before. I'll tell it again. There was a snowstorm in early 1999. It's like January. Andy's here getting the job, right? It's before, he just gets the job. He's here. There was a great man. I love him. Butch Canico. He was the Big Dom before Big Dom. In fact, Big Dom learned a lot from Butchie. Butchie was Eagles security director. Butchie takes Andy to dinner. There's an Italian restaurant, Freddie Viti, right? So they're in this Italian restaurant during the snowstorm. It's just Andy and Butch and another party. At the other party, there was a couple and there was a priest. In fact, they sent over a bottle of wine to Andy. Now, Andy doesn't drink because Andy's Mormon. And Butchie's like, I'll drink the wine. So the couple, the party leaves. The priest comes over to the table and says, listen, coach, good luck. And he goes, I'm going to make you feel right at home. Boo! And he boos Andy. Andy's looking at him like, what? Like, this is bizarre. This is wild. Like, what kind of town is this? I'm in deep South Philly, right? He goes, food's great, but I'm getting booed, and I'm here for 30 seconds. But what happened was Andy then that April drafts Donovan. Everybody wanted Ricky Williams, not Ricky Waters. Everybody wanted Ricky Williams. Ed Rendell, God bless him, the mayor wanted Ricky Williams. Remember Ange and all WIP, Ricky Williams, Dirty 30, the whole thing. And he takes McNabb because he wants to get the franchise quarterback. And he was right? Got Donovan. And then 1999 was, 5-11 season. It ends strong, though. They play well after they had a game after Christmas. They played well in December. You could see that there was a glimmer of hope. In the following season, he goes against John Runyon in free agency to get that line, to give him personality, some toughness, start to build the defense. Jim Johnson is here. He's got Brian Dawkins. He's got Trot. And don't forget, the Axeman will join the show today at 10 o'clock. So they have the bones, they have McNabb and the bones of a good defense. For much of that, season, Doug starts. Dougie P, Andy's dear friend, comes in because he knows the offense to be the backup quarterback and usher Donovan along. Donovan takes the reins, looks good. 2001, they're in the championship game against the Rams. They're up at halftime, wound up losing the second half. The mantra was 52 yards from the Super Bowl. We're all fired up the next year, 2002. They look great. They're off to a good start. Donovan gets hurt. He throws 4 touchdown passes on a broken ankle against the Cardinals. A.J. Feely comes in, plays well. In the playoffs, you know the rest, right? It's Tampa to close the vet. Heartbreaking loss. 03 comes about, slow start. We open up the link. Donovan's a little sketchy. B. West's huge punt return to save the season against the Giants. Miracle of the Meadowlands, Roman numeral 2. They go on this run, 4th and 26 happening against the Packers. B. Dalk intercepts Favre in overtime. Eagles win, but they lose the following week to Carolina and Jake Delhomme. Oh, my God. Receivers get punked. They need receiving help. In comes T.O., 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 T.O. And that sets up the 2004 season, which culminates in Jacksonville. And that's what we'll relive today. That season leading up to Jacksonville. That Super Bowl, I'm working at WIP. I'm doing a show with Steve Martirano. We decide to do a caravan to the Super Bowl. And it was the greatest time in the world. I had my cousin, my friends, everybody was together. We're driving down to Jacksonville, Steve, the whole thing. We get to Jacksonville. We broke down, actually, on the way in South Carolina. Was helped out by these Patriot fans, which was a story in itself. Get to Jacksonville, and it's something I've never seen before. What we know now as the Eagle flock, right? This Eagle fan base, which is so dense, so passionate. That's when it really blossomed, like for the first time. Right? Like where everybody was together. And it was on the banks of the St. Charles River. And it was almost like the Great Awakening that happened by the Gaspar River in Tennessee. It was amazing. Eagle fans everywhere singing the fight song. It's when the fight song really started to take shape during that era. And as the fight song and the chants and everybody's excited, right? It was just one of those incredible vibes being together. Because remember, they lost in the 3 previous championship games. This time in 04, they're playing the Falcons and Mike Vick. There's a nor'easter snowstorm on that Saturday. Everybody gathers together to clear out Lincoln Financial Field, and they win with a dominating performance to go to the Super Bowl. It was incredible. T.O. was hurt. He's working with Rick Burkhalter, who I was just texting with. Rick Burkhalter, the Eagles trainer, who's now in Kansas City with Andy, was able to rehab T.O., and there was a lot of talk about whether or not he would be able to play. And it was still an amazing rehab that he got him to play and be available. And it turns out he was the best player on the field. But we'll get into the game. We'll get into that whole season. We'll relive that moment as we relive Super Bowl week here as we get ready for Sunday and the great American holiday that is the Super Bowl. Also, last night, Sixers. How about Moses Barlow, as my man Tastykake Dom called him? Sweeping the glass, 26, grabbing boards. Wow. Pretty impressive from the Barlow. Was very good. Sixers rout the Clippers. Good win, man. On the road, and I know no James Harden. The Sixers had a great advantage in the backcourt. Maxey goes off for 29. They controlled the game from the beginning. It was one of their best performances of the year, and lo and behold, they rebounded. And look, it's a good front court. You got Zubac, right? You got what's his name from the Hawks? John. I'll think of it in a second. Collins, thank you, VG, and Kawhi. Like that front court, even though there's no Harden, John Collins, Zubac, and Kawhi all on board. Sixers did well. Good win last night. Flyers back in action tonight. We'll talk to Charlie, as I know there's a lot of Michkov unrest going on with the franchise. And a little bit later on, we'll talk to Bo Wulf, live from Santa Clara and the site of the Super Bowl. Good morning, VG.
Oh, thanks for bringing all that back. I don't remember any of it, but I do remember T.O.
So what do you remember? You don't?
No, I mean, there's a lot you have going on. The Super Bowl, what I remember of the Super Bowl is 5, not his best game. Put up some good numbers, but I think he fumbled early, got turned over, his knee was down. I think he threw an interception early that there was an illegal contact. Then he threw 3 other picks. I remember that last drive at the end taking forever. 5 minutes, I think they get the ball with. They score, but it takes 3 minutes, and they don't do hurry up. And there's rumors McNabb couldn't do hurry up because he's dry heaving and puking and stuff. And it's almost feels like the start of the Andy Reid time management problems and stuff, or the notion that he had bad time management, and being depressed at the end of it all. Yeah, feeling like a cheated. I thought it was a long time waiting for all of us old heads, and I thought it was going to be our year with T.O. coming back.
I mean, we were going up against a dynasty in the
juggernaut. Yeah,
and they weren't underdog in the game.
Yeah,
but you're right. Like, everything you said is correct. The problem was they outplayed the Patriots in the first half. I agreed. I thought going into it, I thought they were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought they were going to win. And the first half, they had opportunities to be up. That was the biggest issue, because that first half, they were moving the ball.
Was it 7-7 at halftime?
10-10.
10-10.
I think it was 10-10. And it was, do me a favor, Ethan, print me out the box score of that game. It was, what's the matter?
You see Ethan over there?
Oh, no, I thought he was hiding behind the screen. There's no Ethan? Oh. Oh, I don't know. I have a monitor.
It's these bright lights. They blind you.
So I have a monitor. I can't see unless he's a ghost. Jules, do me a favor.
Chop, Ethan. Let's look alive over there, buddy.
Yeah, there's a monitor, right? And I can't see anyway. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that there's somebody behind it. That's right. I looked down. There's no feet.
Yeah. No sandals. No sandals today.
They had plenty of opportunities. You talked about the fumble. Andy had dialed up, I'll never forget, a wheel route to Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
And Donovan missed him. And he threw the pick. And he's coming off the field. And Andy goes, "What happened, man?" Because Andy was great at that. Like, when you talk about, like, dialing stuff up, when we talk about master play calling, we spent this year, being frustrated with Petullo. Andy Reid could give you a master class on calling plays. Like, whatever you think of him, he was a great play caller. Like, he is a great play caller. He understands how to set things up.
Right.
He understands how to game plan. Like, his scripts always worked. Like, he was great at scripting his first 15. And he had that thing dialed up, and 5 jogging off the field. He's like, the wind took it.
Yeah.
And he's like, the wind took it. Oh, my God.
I think he had the yips that game.
Yeah.
The moment was big for Donovan.
It was too big for him.
Yeah.
Listen, 5 was terrific. I don't want to, he had some really good years, really good moments. But, I remember asking Andy, it was I don't know, it was March of 2005. And I said, I was doing a piece about, basically the Super Bowl and what went wrong. So the question was, hey, what was the difference? And he said, They had 12. We had 5.
Yeah, he's not lying with that. It's like if 5 just didn't have, I don't know what you call it, the chops, the onions, the sauce. Yeah, he didn't have it. Yeah.
He had skills.
He wanted it. And he wanted to be be that
He had skills. He just didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing?
Secret sauce.
If you actually meld Donovan and Jalen together, you got a great quarterback.
Yeah. Yes.
Because, the thing about Jalen is he's clutch and he hates to lose.
And he loves the big games.
Right. And Donovan was much better physically, huge arm, big, right? But he just didn't lack. He just lacked that little it thing that Jalen, I think, has.
100%. Jalen, that is the thing about Jalen. Like, it doesn't make sense, but he just has the it. It is like, because you see, he's not the most physically, athletically gifted guy, but he's just got it.
No, you're right. It was 7-7 at halftime.
Wow, how about that, dude?
Good job.
It may storm today.
Yeah. So the Eagles are up 7-0. I remember this. It's 0-0 after the first quarter. And then McNabb hits LJ Smith.
First quarter.
Right?
0-0.
LJ hits LJ Smith early, about 9:55 mark of the second quarter to take the lead.
Right.
Remember, they had chances in the first quarter.
Well, LJ did he have a fumble too? There was a ton of turnovers that game.
Yeah.
I think they popped the ball out of LJ.
And then the Patriots tied it right before halftime at 7-7. You know what's wild?
And I think it's the first. Was that the first? I read a real quick read this morning. It might have been the first Super Bowl tied at halftime ever. First or second.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Get out. You know what's nuts is that, the reason why we talk about Spygate and everything else, in that second half, it felt like the Patriots had the Eagles blitz They had the blitz.
It was like screen game, right?
Yes.
Tons of screens.
It was all the screen game.
That'll be great to ask Trout about what it felt like on the field when that was happening.
Yeah, we will. It was all that sort of thing. Do you know who caught a touchdown pass from Brady first drive of the third quarter? Right after halftime.
I kind of feel like I just did a refresher a little bit.
Mike Vrabel.
Oh, but also it was a play they ran in the Super Bowl before. Bad film work by the Birds there. It's the same play they did it in the year before in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Vrabel, how crazy is time, right? Like the circle of life. But Vrabel, who's coaching the Patriots on Sunday, caught the touchdown pass
21 years
outside the second half to start the second half.
You think he shows them that film this year?
I don't know.
You gotta be like, come on.
Yeah. Like, dude, I was here.
I was here. This is what I did.
Yeah.
Step it up. I got no hands. Step it up.
The Eagles go down and tie it. It's 14-14. Westbrook was the best. They go Donovan to B West, and it's 14-14. And then that's when the Patriots, Corey Dillon, early in the fourth quarter, after those not Charles White, what was his name? His last name was White, and it was all the dink and dunks.
James White
against I think it was against the in the teeth of the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Vinatieri adds a field goal. It's 24-14, and that brings us back to the end of the game and how it took forever and the hurry up. That was less Andy Reid time management and Donovan just being gassed.
It's interesting. As I was looking through the testimony, and you have John Ritchie, Lito Shepard, and Hank Fraley all saying he was puking and dry heaving. And B. West is the lone expert witness on Donovan's side saying, nah, he was fine. He was fine.
Yeah. Well, I told you the story once, but when Donovan was a senior at Syracuse, I covered a game. It was Syracuse, Virginia Tech at Syracuse. And I wrote this in the story.
Why were you there?
I was working for the New York Post.
Okay.
And it was a huge game.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of college football.
Yeah.
So I was covering the game. And I remember that day. I remember that weekend. It was like the last weekend I don't know if it was the championship game, but it was late. But anyway, it was a big weekend because I did Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and then I did the Bills game. Doug Flutie was the quarterback.
So it's like a weekend. You're up in North New York.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Donovan, they're down. Syracuse is down. And Donovan runs for 52 yards. He goes into the sidelines, pukes like a real puke on the sidelines, comes back in after a timeout, and throws a touchdown pass to a backup tight end by the name of Steve Breminski. They win, but he had thrown up. So I remember writing about him throwing up and then coming back and throwing a touchdown pass. So he was definitely throwing up in the Super Bowl. He was gassed. Remember, that was the beginning of the Super Bowl kind of becoming extravaganza.
Yeah.
The length of halftime got those guys. Like, you got to be prepped, right? There was also a lot of cramping going on because of the humidity in Jacksonville.
So
and they were gassed.
So when he gets gassed, he just pukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you've done it. I'm sure you've worked out to exhaustion and you puke
once or twice, but
I mean that's what happened.
All right, so we got to figure this out. Someone says James White was probably in middle school. Joe76 says James White was probably in middle school. So who are we talking about?
I'll tell you right now.
Kevin Falk, Patrick Pass.
No, I'll tell you right now. I have to. So it was James White. That's funny. It was Kevin Falk. Corey Dillon, dude.
Yeah, he had a monster game.
Yeah. Deion Branch.
Oh, Deion Branch, he's the MVP.
Dude, 11 catches, 133 yards. Yes. Yeah, James White, what am I thinking? Yeah. It was Troy Brown was their best receiver. Only caught 2 for 17.
David Givens, just a slop at the wide receiver.
I know. Corey Dillon and Kevin Falk.
And that's against like Lito and Sheldon and Michael Lewis. There's like 3 Pro Bowlers.
But it was Dillon and Falk. That's what it was. It was Dillon and Falk. James White. Oh my God. Yeah, Kevin. It was Dillon and Falk.
Can you name the other running back who had 1 carry for the Birds?
For the Birds? Oh, I know it. I see it.
Dorsey Levens.
Dorsey Levens.
Pinkston with a big game. 4 catches, 82 yards.
Josh Parry caught a pass.
Who?
He was a fullback. You like fullbacks. He was a fullback.
I like good fullbacks.
Pinkston early caught a big, long pass. But the best player on the field was T.O., man.
Yeah.
9 for 122.
He was out of his mind. He's so good.
He was so great. He was so great.
It's a shame it went down like that.
I know. He was such a great
he was
player.
Fun. We loved him.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was a great player, man. He was incredible.
Let me ask you the most important question about this Super Bowl. And Julia, you might have to chime in and help us. Who was the halftime performer?
I was there.
Now they went safe because the year before we had the wardrobe malfunction with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. So they went.
Oh, that's right. Nipplegate.
Yeah, Nipplegate was the year before. So they went super safe.
I don't know.
Paul McCartney.
Oh, my God.
I forgot about that totally.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's crazy. All right. Lots to relive during that moment. Great. I mean, look, I love this stuff. The Super Bowl, talking about it, it was amazing. All right. Coming up, though, we got the Flyers. Let's dive into the Flyers, a little meat cough.
Oh, man. Drama. The chat's like, you got to ask Charlie this. Ask Charlie. The drama is a brewing right now.
I know. Eddie Wright was already on. I don't want any Flyer drama, man. I don't, man. I just want one of these teams to get good, like really good.
But I'll say, we do enjoy the Eagles being good with their drama. So if the Flyers bring a little drama and they're good.
I mean, I should love the drama because it's story. It's, but I don't. I like last year was awesome. Just dominate.
Yeah, but we had a little drama.
There was no drama.
The coach, was he getting fired?
Oh, well,
AJ
I'm talking about doing when they're rolling.
Oh,
they got
they're
rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I like. Let's roll. Don't forget also today at 11:45, the trucks leave CBP for Clearwater.
I cannot wait for this. The scenes of pitchers and catchers down there.
Yeah, we need it. Just seeing it
come on.
escape through your television.
Those afternoon games just makes me feel warm.
When I was covering baseball, and I would go down to spring training, my editor would say, "I want you to get down. What are you doing? Are you?" So I'm at the complex. All right. Are you in the diamond? I said, "Yeah, I'm in the midfield." All right. I want you to do this. I'm on the phone. He's like, "Lay down in the grass."
A little grounding.
And smell the grass. Do it now. So I did it. And people are looking at me like, so the players are like, what are you doing, man? Smelling the grass.
How old were you?
What's that?
How old were you?
23.
Okay, yeah. So you'll do anything at 23.
Yeah. And I'm on the grass. I'm smelling the grass and like feeling the warmth of the sun. Oh, nice. All right. We got to take a quick TO. Let's come right back with Charlie. And we'll tackle some flyers. That's coming up next. But first, a word from our friends. Let's talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Listen, they got a great thing going. Place a $25 bet on the big game. You'll be automatically entered into a contest to win season tickets for the 27th season of your home state's football team. That's right. So you place a $25 bet, new or existing customers, you will get an entry into that drawing. So every $25 bet, new existing customers acts as an entry. And then at the end, they're going to have 50 people, and one of the winners, 50 is going to get the $50 free bet, and then the other one's going to get the big one's going to get the season tickets. So you're in southeastern PA. It's the Birds. You know it. Ravens and Steelers and Lions. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. You have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21. All the details, betparks.com. Attention, small and medium-sized businesses. I got an answer you got to have. It's called Togo. And it lets your stars focus on the business. Look, you don't want Bryce Harper pitching out of the bullpen, right? Listen, at Togo, it helps businesses streamline operations and level the playing field, taking on customer service, accounting, order management, logistics, admin, data entry, even complex multi-step operational processes, all at the fraction of the cost of building it in-house. Let them take that off the table for you, and then you can focus on growing the business, doing what you love best. Togo doesn't bill a dime until the real work begins. Programs start as low as $1,000 a month. Visit Togo.com and mention PHLY to receive free operational assessment. Togo, the answer. Now, let us go to the Xfinity Mobile call-in line and talk some pucks. Our man, Charlie O.
Charlie O'Connor, hockey whiz, best in the biz. Everyone agrees. It's Charlie. It's Charlie.
Good morning, Charlie O. You're muted, buddy.
There we go. Love that intro. Love that intro. It's fantastic stuff.
Nice.
Well, you're fantastic. You do incredible work covering the squad. Let's deep dive with the Olympic break close. We got 2 games left, and then everybody heads to Milan. What's going on? Like,
Where do you want me to start, Ant?
Peace. I just want peace here. Fill us in on kind of what you know.
Well, I mean, if you want me to talk to you about the team and how they're playing, it's funny because I was on that road trip and I was in the building for that Colorado game. It looked like they figured things out. They had this big, team meeting where they worked through the, what led to them blowing that Utah game. They go out there and they don't just win against the best team in the league. They kind of beat them handily. And you're thinking, yeah, okay, maybe they're back on track. Maybe they're in a decent spot. And then they go back home, go back on the road for 2 games, but then come back home and they lose four straight games in a week. So whatever is ailing this team is clearly not fixed. You're seeing the same problems pop up: backdoor goals, bad starts, guys taking bad penalties. Like this is just, it's recurring problems. And do I think that on some level they all just like can't wait to get to the Olympic break? Sure. But the reality of the situation is that they're putting themselves so far down the standings that by the time they get to the Olympic break, the season is essentially going to be over for them in the sense of having a chance to make the playoffs. And then the rest of the season then becomes solely about the rebuild and the state of it, rather than can they make the playoffs and can they take a step forward this year? And that's truly the disappointing part, because for 3 months, that's what the story was about. It was, oh man, this team is exceeding expectations. This is fun.
Did we overrate what they were? Like, you know, because ultimately when you look down, and losing Vladar was a huge piece of that. Like during that stretch, you know, Ersan played, what, 7 games in a row? And
Kolosov had like one in there, but yeah.
You can't play Kolosov. He's just horrible. Like, you just can't play him. But did we kind of overrate who they were?
Did we over? I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Like before this whole thing fell off a cliff, they had the 6th best points percentage in the NHL. If you thought they were that good, then absolutely you overrated them. They were never that good. And we talked to Keith Jones at the Carnival on Sunday, and he more or less said that. He said that, hey, we had a good record after 3 months, but we probably weren't that good. And then he said, but we're probably not as bad as we've looked in January. And I largely agree with that. I think the Flyers are a middle of the road team that is going through a really, really rough patch. So I guess the question of, did we overrate them? Like, if you thought they were
I guess our expectations,
lock, then absolutely.
Are our expectations out of whack type of thing?
I guess my issue is like, whose expectations? Like, my expectations never were out of whack, because my expectations were always they're a bubble playoff team, even when they were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But like, if you thought that they were going to cruise to a playoff spot, then absolutely your expectations were out of line, because they're just not that good of a team. They don't have the talent down the middle. They don't have the depth on the back end. They don't have the organizational depth yet, really, at forward, as we've seen in terms of them trying to survive the injury to Tyson Forrester, to be a team that is in a playoff spot the entire year and is a real contender. They are a team that, if things break right for them, and if they play real hard, and if they adhere to a system, they can get in as the third team in the Metro, or the first or second wild card. And this month, things have broken against them, and they've done a really, really bad job of withstanding pressure, and that's kind of what explains where they're at right now.
Charlie, I hear there's rumors you quit the social media platform X last night. Were you going back and forth with people?
No, I did not quit X. Yep. I am no longer going to be responding to people on X. I'm done. I'm done with Flyers Twitter.
So, are you surprised that there seems to be so much frustration right now in the fan base, and I'm a huge Tocchet fan, but it seems like they're just disgruntled with the way the coach is handling Michkov, how the front office has been developing players. Are you shocked at how I guess angry they are right now? Or I think it's frustration is the word.
People are frustrated, and I'm like, well, that's why I asked you about expectations. Listen, Michkov is disappointing. He is. I don't know how, and Taco was on with you, and Talk said, look, guy comes in out of shape. He hasn't really gotten to it. It's hard getting to play yourself in shape during the regular season. Got to eat right, got to work out. Like, I don't mind him being harder on him in the sense that, I saw what happened to Ben Simmons. So when you're a young star, you got to make sure that, their habits are right.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you in a vacuum. I think my issue is I don't know why you have to, I don't know why that had to be it has to be continually brought up, and why, like, for example, you're talking more or less, and he didn't specifically say it was Michkov, but he strongly implied that Michkov has been showing up late to treatments. I don't know why that has to leave the building. Like, I don't know why you have to air your dirty laundry, especially when you're talking about a guy who is this important to the franchise. I think that those are things that could be kept behind closed doors. And I wouldn't be surprised if Rick Tocchet is a bit frustrated, not just with Michkov. I'm sure he's frustrated with Michkov, because he looks at a team and he's like, this guy led the team in goals last year, and he didn't prepare the way I wanted him to prepare this summer. And if he was doing what he did last year, maybe we would still be in a playoff spot and I wouldn't be dealing with all this. So there's frustration, I'm sure, on Tockett's part to Mishkov, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's frustration from Tockett's part towards the fans. And that's like what's driving part of this, is that he doesn't understand why people are so angry that Mishkov isn't getting minutes, when in his mind it's straightforward. He didn't show up to camp in shape. He can't handle the minutes, so I'm not giving it to him. I just don't think Tocchet has to be that adversarial. I don't think he has to air that dirty laundry in public. I think this is stuff that probably would be better served behind closed doors. And it's certainly not going to help his relationship with the fans, because the fans are just going to hear that and get even more angry, and it's going to ratchet up the tension even more. And then when players go on social media, all they're going to see is people angry at the Flyers. Like, this is a time to be diffusing things, not escalating them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, to play devil's advocate, the message is the message, right? So sometimes the message is, I don't want to say a public flogging, but sometimes that is necessary to hammer home a point to make sure that the young player is back in the right path. Like, that's always that's an age-old tactic.
That's true. And you're right. I guess what I'll say to that in response is, they better be right that this is the right path to take. Because if they're wrong and Mishkov doesn't respond well to this, you don't want to be in a situation where the whole relationship between coach and player falls apart. So,
no, I mean, you can't afford that.
So basically, Tocchet better be right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I guess I'm looking at it like, I'm disappointed that the kid, showed up the way he is, the way he did. And Tocchet is right about this. When he has the puck in the corner, he don't have the explosiveness to get free. Like, he doesn't look as quick. He's certainly not as explosive as he did last year.
No, he absolutely doesn't. And, you do wonder to what, because this is hurting a lot of the players, you do wonder to what degree the compressed schedule is hurting him with the Olympics. There's just been so many games in such a short period of time. I mean, Sean Couturier looks gassed. And he's a veteran who we know showed up to camp in good shape, but he also has had 2 back surgeries and he's in his early 30s. December 7th.
Yeah.
So
nice pull, Charlie.
Yeah, so I literally just wrote about it, so I have it very fresh in my mind. I referenced it on my post-practice video on our YouTube channel. Check that out from yesterday. But it wouldn't be surprised if that's affecting him, to be sure. But you're right, by the eye test, and the underlying numbers are still good with Mishkov. I think some of that is the fact that Tocchet has been sheltering him more than he was sheltered last year. But the talent is still there. Like, he's still driving play, but I do agree that by the eye test, he's not winning as many battles. He's not creating the separation he created for himself last year. And if you remember this time last year, he also looked tired. Around January, February, he was in that dip where he wasn't scoring much and he looked kind of tired. And then, had a couple good games right before the Four Nations break, came back, played pretty well, then had that really good finish after they fired Torts. So maybe this goes back to the overarching point of he needs to be in better shape if he wants to not have dips where he doesn't look energized. But I also think that, I don't know, at this point, that's a problem for next offseason, right? He's got to have a great offseason. Everybody knows that. But, do we need to keep talking about it over and over again?
Go ahead.
So, Charlie, people in the chat, they bring up a good point. Jonesy with you had said that they have to remind the coaching staff to play the young guys a little more. And there's Elliot Friedman, I guess, on the 32 Thoughts podcast, said that he basically implied or said that the higher ups in the front office kind of agree with you that they wish some of the stuff that Tocchet said would have stayed in house. Do you see some kind of a disconnect going on right now between the front office and the coaching staff?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Jonesy comment on Sunday was the first time where I had my eyebrows raised. I'm like, that's interesting. Now, this sort of thing happens all the time. It happened with Torts and Briere and Jones all the time in terms of I want to do this. Well, no, you should do this. So is there something there? Yeah, I'm sure there's some disagreements in terms of where the front office is versus where the coach is. You're seeing Trevor Zegers being played at center over these last couple games. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was, something that the front office was like, okay,
Let's
I know
see
you've
it.
been. Like I know you've been iffy, like saying this to Taka, that I know you've been iffy about his ability to play center, but this is something we need to know before we negotiate a
I
contract
totally
with
believe
this
that.
guy.
I mean, I know that. I completely believe that. I know that that's where that's. And here's the one thing I also know is that those guys are close. Like, those guys are very close.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's Torts and Jonesy and
No,
Danny.
definitely not.
Like those guys are close. So, I don't think this is a case where there's some rift between Jonesy and Tok. I know that's not the case.
I don't think so either. I just think that sometimes you have disagreements because the coach has one goal, which is win as many games as possible.
Right.
And the front office, while they'd like the team to win as many games as possible, they have long-term goals that sometimes can supersede the short-term goals. And then sometimes you have to step in and tell the coach, like, hey, I get what you want to do, but we need to play Nikita Gurbenkin. You can't scratch Emil Andre, things like that.
Yeah, you know what? Back to Meatball for a second. I forget who they were talking, the career arc. Oh, it was McKinnon, but it was like, good rookie year, bad second year, sophomore year, okay third year, and then the fourth year was the rise.
I think it probably was McKinnon, yeah.
And like when you see it, like it does. It makes sense. Like, so I guess, listen, I hear the chat. I get the frustration. It's been a long, long time. We're always going to pay the price. Like whoever's in charge is always going to pay the price of the sins of the past, just because it feels like it's been forever, and it has. But I guess I'm at the point where I still believe in the long-term direction. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, and I don't know. Okay, like you're free to believe in the long term direction. I still think the plan
listen,
can
you're
work.
the expert. Like you're
Yeah.
you're around them all the time. So I watch every game. I watch the league. I love. It's like my guilty pleasure, right? Like so, I'll sit and watch Toronto and Calgary last night, late night, while I'm watching the Sixers going back and forth. Like I have the ESPN package. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. I'm TNT nut when they're on. I'm watching the Stadium series. Like I like it. But you're around this team all the time. Like you got a better idea of the talent.
I still think the plan can work, but I've always thought that it was going to be difficult for the plan to work, especially given the fact that they're not going to be getting the first overall pick, the second overall pick, the third overall pick, unless they get really lucky in the lottery. These next couple off seasons are going to be pivotal. They're going to be pivotal for Danny. They're going to be pivotal for the front office because they're going to need to either get really lucky in the draft and get a couple guys who can be game changers at premium positions, center and defense, basically, or they're going to need to make some really, really shrewd trades. And I do think that last offseason should give you confidence that Danny Briere has the chops to do that, given the fact that he made a very shrewd trade to get Trevor Zegras, and then he made two legitimately really good signings to get Dan Vladar and Christian Dvorak. Like that should increase the confidence that Briere has the chops to negotiate and identify opportunities both in trades and in free agency. But he still has to go out there and do it again and again and get this team, a legitimate top six center, get this team a legitimate top four, if not number one defenseman. Like there are holes that need to be filled that I'm not sure are going to be filled in the draft unless they get very fortunate. And like, do I think the plan can work? Yeah, I think the plan can work, but it needs to be executed very well. To this point, I don't think they have had any fatal missteps. But for example, if they blow the relationship with Matvei Mishkov and then they have to trade him for pennies on the dollar.
Well, I'm hoping.
Then,
I mean, that would be a nightmare. Like
that would be a nightmare. Exactly. Yeah. So like that's my point. Where I think the plan can still work, but there are legitimate concerns right now to be sure.
Like Dvorak, was that what'd you think of that move? And should they have moved TK? I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I mean, I could see both sides of the TK argument. I personally, rather than sign into that deal, I probably would have traded him. But I get the logic behind keeping him, especially now with the cap ceiling going up as high as it is. Their view was if we let TK go, when in 3-4 years we're going to have to go out in free agency and sign somebody like TK. So why not just keep him? And I get that. So I probably would have traded him because I worry about how well he's going to age when Mishkov is 25 and Martone is 24. I worry that Travis Konechny is going to be a third liner making $9 million a year. That scares me. I probably would have traded him, but I get the logic behind keeping him. I don't think it was this is the dumbest move in the world kind of thing. The Dvorak signing, I was fine with re-signing him because I get the logic of you have a lot of young developing wingers and you want them playing with competent centers. Dvorak is someone who can play center at a middle six level, and there aren't that many centers available on the market, at least centers that won't come at an insane price. Like, you're not going to want to go out and give Nick Schmaltz $8 million a year. He's a good player. He's not a great player. You don't want to give him the Kevin Hayes contract. So I get it. I get the logic. I would have hesitated to give Christian Dvorak 5 years. I would have tried to keep that deal to 2 or 3 because I'm afraid that they're going to be stuck with a declining guy that they can't trade 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I worry about that. I probably would have tried to hold down. Like, they signed him in early January. If Dvorak was demanding 5 years, I might have tried to drag out the negotiations and be like, hey, if you really want to sign back with us, like, you got to agree to 3 years and maybe draw it out a little bit further to the closer to the trade deadline to see if he would cape. That said, like, this is all, I wouldn't say it's hindsight, but I'm speaking from the chair. I'm not the general manager. I'm not in the room. I don't know the specifics of negotiations. So I don't want this to seem like I'm playing backseat driver to Danny Briere. I'm just saying that, like, my criticism of the Dvorak contract is not that I wouldn't have signed him. It's that I think it was a couple years too long, and I probably would have strongly avoided giving him the 4th and 5th year.
Charlie, I've been looking forward. It feels like after this season, they get some cap space opening up. But I could be wrong. But it feels to me like in the last couple of years, teams aren't letting their free agents get the free agency. They're locking them up early with the salary cap increases. Is that accurate? And do you think that's going to be a trend that continues?
It's actually an interesting question that I asked this to Jonesy on Sunday. I asked if they've had to change the plan, if they've had to pivot at all because that 2026 free agency class, which was supposed to be a really good free agency class, now is looking very thin because everybody pretty much has re-signed. And Jonesy straight up admitted, that we were very hopeful that we were going to be able to maybe get a guy or two in that draft. And he said, look, like, we still would have had to outbid other teams, but we thought there were going to be more guys out there, and now we're going to have to pivot to other avenues. Like, to me, the big avenue that they really might have to pivot to, like, obviously they were always going to have to make trades. They were always going to have to make a couple big trades. They were going to have to win some deals and trade away some of their prospects and picks and future assets for guys that can help them win now. That was always going to happen. I wonder if the lack of quality impact pieces in free agency, because of the fact the cap has gone up so dramatically, and as Jonesy put it, the fact that the cap, that teams know how much the cap is going to go up. There's more projection than I think anybody thought there was going to be. I think they may have to go in the offer sheet route more than they thought they were going to have to, because I just don't know how else you're going to be able to get prime age talent at the positions they want to add it at, unless you go full offer sheet and maybe overpay a guy with an offer sheet to get that talent. And I brought up the possibility of offer sheets to Jonesy on Sunday, and he did not dismiss it. He's like, we're going to have to look at all avenues to be sure. Wouldn't be surprised if that's an avenue that maybe they dig into a little bit deeper than they thought they were going to have to, because, as you said, everybody's re-signing their big ticket free agents because they know that there's so much more money available in the pool.
All right, let's put a pin in it. During the break, let's come back and let's spend a good lengthy period of time kind of looking at the prospects, where they're at, kind of assessing where this rebuild is, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, they win that night against the Caps?
I'm actually going to say they do. I'm going to say they win tonight. The Caps played last night. They're in the second game of a back-to-back. And I think the Flyers, I watched practice today. They seemed light. I'm going to say that they do finally get off the schneid and get a win tonight.
I think so too. They beat the Capitals last night, Washington, so they played. So I'm with you. Child, great stuff, buddy. We'll be watching, reading the whole thing. You're the man.
All right, sounds good. Thanks guys.
Pal. Charlie O on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line.
It's a good hockey talk. I like it.
Yeah, I mean,
just 3 puckheads chewing the fat.
I want a little more. You know, I want calmness. I hate divided fans. I like where we're all unified. We got to take a quick TO, and then we got the brain a quick check-in with the brain on what he's seeing now that we are just inside a week from the Super Bowl. And coming up around 10, the Axeman, Jeremiah Trotter. But first, a word from our friends. Let's talk about my friends from Xfinity. I love my Xfinity. What if I could tell you, what if I said to you, you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if I told you keep the price the same for 5 years? That's right, the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. That's my problem, all right? I got 2 kids, I got my wife, all right, and I need no interruptions. That's why I love my Xfinity. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable. Lock in your price and unlock possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Looking for a car? Looking for a truck? Looking for an SUV? Elkin Chevrolet's got you. Elkin Chevrolet, they're run by 3 brothers. Real brothers, local guys. They're at the dealership every day making sure everything's going smooth. And right now, they're putting on a President's Day sales event, and the deals are bigger and better than ever. You need a truck? They've got it. Looking for an SUV? They got that too. They got your Silverados. They got the nice Blazers. They got the big, comfortable Suburbans and Tahoes. Every vehicle comes with the kind of service that makes you feel like you're part of the family, because they are a family. But don't wait. These President's Day deals are only there for a short time. Swing by Elkin Chevrolet, Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. Super easy to get to right over the bridge, and get in on the deals that are just plain honking good. Elkin Chevrolet, they're real brothers, they're real deals, and they got a whole lot of honking good service. Together, let's drive.
All right, welcome back now. Let's go to the brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
Top of the morning, brain.
Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Let's get it started. Anything we sussed out the early stuff with the Super Bowl. We like the under. We like the tight ends to have a day. Maybe the backs out of the backfield, because we kind of see the game being played inside the numbers, which would keep clock going and which would lead to more, like low-scoring game. Anything strike your fancy since then?
I mean, well, I told you, Anthony, my favorite bet, and it came on your show. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Was Seattle's team total under? I now have a lot of money on that. 'Cause I really believe in it fiercely. I bet under in the first half, 13.5. I bet under 14.5, laying higher juice. I bet under 25.5. I bet under 27.5. Basically, if Seattle has a good game, if Sam Darnold gets me here, it's not going to be good for me. But I really don't think he's going to. I think this is, I see this game, Anthony, and the reason I like the under more for Seattle's team total than I like New England in the game is I really could see this game being 20-13, 20-10, 17-7. Like, none of it would shock me. But I'm more confident in Seattle not scoring 26 than I am in New England not scoring 21.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I don't know how to look at the Patriots offense. Like I'm starting to think that it could be a slog for them. Especially with
it certainly could.
The Drake May shoulder, and is he going to be? They're not going to let him run. Seattle plays a lot of zone.
I like his under. Yeah, it's funny. I know we talked about that earlier. I do agree that under for Drake May's rushing, it's been bet up to like 37.5 right now, I think, on the Park site. I think that's too high, because what's it mean when you have a zone running, for everyone listening? It means that there's a less chance likelihood of you getting one of those 25-yard runs, because when it's man, how many times you watch when there's man coverage that the players have no idea the quarterback's running down the field? They have no idea because they're in man-to-man coverage. But when they're in a zone coverage, that quarterback's not going to get those 25-yard gains. At least it'd be a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, yeah. I'm completely with you. It's funny. I keep looking at this game, and I'm starting to struggle to find the pathway where the Patriots win.
Well, not for me, Anthony. Again, and I say that because again, I actually think their defense. Again, I think it's Anthony. I'm going to tell you exactly how I think it's. I think it's going to be just like we saw the Denver game, except not that kind of weather. But I think it's going to be tight, low scoring, can go either way, play here or there. But I think we'll see. I don't think New England's going to be as inept as they were against Denver for multiple reasons. I don't think that. I think they will have more success. I think this is a really good Patriots offense. Um, and I don't think Darnold and company are going to have their typical 30-point game at all. I think they're going to be, honestly, 20
Yeah.
or less. And if they're 20 or less, it's going to
Yeah,
be a tight game.
I think you're right. I think it's, again, you and I talked about it in special. I urge people to watch it. We'll do it again Thursday night. But
Sure.
20, I could see it being 20 to, 16,
Yeah, that's kind of where, if I had to pick a score in the game today, probably would go 2016 New England. That probably would be my official score. If I had to pick a score, if I was just offered $1 trillion and could cure cancer, probably say 2016 New England. I think it's going to be very close. It can go either way. But I, as someone who's really been, and funny thing is, Anthony, you probably don't know anyone who's been more pro Seattle than me. You can't.
No,
Every
you
single week, I'm like,
love
Seattle's going to
Darnold.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Seattle's going to, yeah. I
You've
mean,
been right about
they've
them.
been my team all year. So it's not that I don't like Seattle. I just think Seattle's getting a little bit too much respect. And I think New England's being overly disrespected. And they face some really tough defenses, facing a really another great one. I get it. But they've beaten those good defenses and they found a way to do it because their defense is playing as good as anyone, Anthony. That's the thing. That's just no one's even like, it's weird to me how it's being glossed over. If I always hate it when athletes say, oh, no one gives us a chance. No, I'm like, of course, what are you talking about? No one gives you a chance. But I feel like New England, no one is really giving their defense the respect that they deserve based on how they've been playing recently. And I find it fascinating that everyone's, oh, Seattle, this great defense, which they do. But New England's been right there with them. And I'm just surprised that people just aren't seeing it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I like a good tease, Brain. So I'm looking at Patriots plus 10.5, under 51.5. Sounds good.
That would be my tease. That would definitely be my tease. You're not going through the 3, so I can't officially endorse it. But I will say this, that I think is a really good tease. I do think it's going to win because I don't think they're going to get blown out. And I really would be surprised if there's 52 points scored in this game. I really would be surprised because I think both offenses are going to struggle to get into the mid-20s. I really do.
Like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anything tonight in the basketball?
In the
college
associate,
basketball?
I actually do have a few things, my friend. I'll give you Bam Adebayo under 21.5 points. He's 30-13 to that over. Sorry, to that under. That was too high of a number.
Where'd you go, Brain?
What's that? Oh, wait, here, hang on. I'm sorry. Were you there? You there? I'm sorry.
You disappeared.
Yeah, I
really.
Witness protection program.
Bam out. Yeah, I look better now. Having a blank screen improves my look. But anyway, 30-13 for Bam Adebayo's under. I think that number's too high. Desmond Bane, they made his over under 3.5 assists. He's gone over that about 2/3 of the time. I think Desmond will get his 4 assists. Matas Buzelis, Chicago Bulls. They made his rebound 6.5. He is, I believe, 36-10 to the under. He averages 5.4 too high. And Anthony, your all-time favorite ex-Sixer, Tobias Harris, he's gone over 2.5 assists about 60% of the time, getting plus 130 on a 50-50 bet. Sign me up.
All right, buddy. That's good stuff, man.
Good win for the Sixers last night, by the way.
How about Barlow?
Yeah, no, he had he had a great game. He had a great game, but it was a good win. It's interesting. What did you guys think? I know you got to run, but the James Harden thing, Anthony, might create that just come out of forget left field. Did that come out of triple left field? Like I hear the teams won like 20 in a row. They're playing great, and Harden wants out. I'm like, what the heck?
He's a weird dude. Is there been a weirder dude than Harden? Like, he's just a weirdo.
He's on the list. He's on the list.
Like, he's just weird, strange. Even when he was here, like he's such a great basketball player. He's actually a really good practice player. He helped Tyrese Maxey, right?
Yeah.
But, man, my man just loves the club. like, and
Well,
he gets
is he
some
going to love it in
wins.
Cleveland? I don't know. Is he going to love it in Cleveland?
I don't. Well, listen, it doesn't matter where he plays; he'll find his way to Miami or Vegas. But
You're probably right.
he's an interesting cat where if there's something that's just awry, he's out.
He's
like,
off.
I'm done.
He's out.
You
No,
know?
no second chances. Let me ask you a quick question. Who do you like that trade for better? I'm sure you saw the rumors, Darius Garland for him. I was surprised. I'm just curious your quick take on it, if you don't mind.
So, again, I think it fits. I think it fits both teams because I think Harden will fit that Cleveland team. I do. I think they're veteran. I think it'll help them.
Do you think it gets him over the top?
Garland's a baller, man. He could play. So
I liked it better. I definitely
teams.
understood it for
weird.
both sides. You know what? Actually, no, it doesn't sound weird because it's funny because for the Clippers' point of view, Harden's 36 years old. I would be like, all right, at least they get a younger player in there. Now it's funny. I'm just thinking it from a Sixers point of view, and I'll let you run. I root against the Clippers forever because I want that pick like 2 years from now. I don't want them to have any good young players. So I was like, oh, if they get a good young player for Harden, that's going to annoy me because I want the Clippers to be the worst team in the league. Come, was it 2028? They have that pick, I think it is, or 20, whatever it is.
We got their pick.
So I was hoping that they just lose Harden and him and Kawhi retire, and it's me and you, Anthony, playing forwards for them. But we'll see.
I was with you. I'm like, oh no, man. No, I don't want to have. I thought the same thing.
But it probably is a good trade for both teams. Ironically,
I believe it.
I kind of think it actually makes sense.
I think it makes
it's
Cleveland a lot better. I'm a little worried because.
Does that get them over the top? Do you think Cleveland? Would you put them number one?
Help them big time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it may.
And his East is wide open.
They need to do something, Cleveland.
And
Garland's always hurt.
Yeah.
Say what you want to say about Harden, he plays.
Yeah, he does. And listen, he's good. He's still good.
He's having his best year. One of them.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. It is amazing. I never see it coming. But whatever.
Brain, you're the man, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Here he is, La Brain. Brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. He is the ambassador of the Bet Parks app. Let's take a quick TO. And coming up, one of my favorite people. You want to talk about bringing a smile to your face. The great Axeman, Jeremiah Trotter. If there's like a Mr. Eagle, family to all, it's Trot.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I love that guy.
Just seeing his face makes me smile.
Yeah, he's coming up next. But first, let's talk about our friends. And you just heard the brain about the Bet Parks app. Look, get in now on the big game on Sunday and your chance to win season tickets to the 27 season. Every $25 bet you place on the big game will put you in the drawing. And this goes for new or existing customers, right? So you can be new to the app, you're existing to the app. For every $25 bet you place on the app on the big game, you're qualified, right? You get a new entry for each $25 bet you place. And that would be season tickets to the 27th season. If it'll be a random drawing throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and Michigan. So you're in southeastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, you got season tickets to the Birds. All right, it's that good. Plus, they have all the other games, hoops, the hockey, you name it, all the casino stuff. It's a lot of fun. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, we're from Philadelphia. We know that pests don't knock. They just show up. Human or the kind that you really skeeve, the roaches and rats. And that's why we got to go to Evans Pest Control. Evans, you want trustworthy pest control company? I give you Evans Pest Control. They're not some giant national chain. They're family-owned, community-focused pest control company right here in the Philadelphia area. They've been earning the trust of our neighborhoods for years. All right? Evans Pest Control uses state-of-the-art equipment, safe and effective treatment options. Their techs go through continuous training, so they're equipped to handle anything. rodents, insects, termites, even bed bugs. They've offered priority services and consultations, which is huge when you have a problem with pests. We don't like pests. We scheme them. We know it here at PHLY. My house, I don't trust it just anybody. Visit evanspestmgmt.com. That's evanspestmgmt.com. Evans Pest Control. Ooh. All right. Now, it's Super Bowl week on the show. Each day, we remember, relive, commemorate a different Super Bowl. Today, in order of this century, we start with the 2004 season. It culminates 05 February, Dateline Jacksonville, with one of the great teams and one of the great faces from that team, Axman, on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Axman!
What's up, cuz? What's going on, baby?
Can I just tell you, you make me happy. You make every. God bless you. Some people in this world are lights. You're a light, my man. A light. True light.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh my God.
Good seeing you, man.
It's you don't change a bit neither, man. You look like you still go out there.
No. You just in from the neck up.
So I wanted to do each Super Bowl of the century, and I wanted to start with a great memory of that 04 team. And it all begins that season. You and I are doing a show together. It was me, you, and Ike that would do the show every week. And it was probably my most fun. Listen, there's been so many great moments, but that season was just such a blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, man.
Let's start before we get to the game itself and the whole thing. Training camp, when T.O. comes in, remember at Lehigh, how wild it was?
So you remember when I came in 04, I was on special teams.
Oh, yes.
I was on special teams. And I remember going out there with the tools. And I said to myself, I said, you know what, man? They're going to be putting me out here with these tools. I'm going to hurt because back then, the ones would go against the twos. The two defense against the one offense. They very seldom let the ones go against the ones, right? So I said to myself, I said, tell you what, they're going to keep putting me out here with these tools. I'm hurting every starter on the team. So I said, they got two options. Either they're going to start losing their starters or they're going to get me off the twos. And I remember Andy Reid saying, hey, this period is live. Man, listen. T.O. ran a crossing route, and I happened to be waiting on the other side of him. And I intentionally went at him, and he didn't see me. And when he caught the ball and tried to turn up, I remember putting my helmet. I always tackle with my head up, right?
Yeah.
But I intentionally put my helmet right in this hip and rib area. And I tried to tear his whole hip out of socket. and when I got up off of him, he wasn't getting up. He was on the ground rolling and squirming, and all of a sudden, that anger went from, these guys might cut me, you know what I'm saying? So Big Red came over there. His face was, they call him Big Red for a reason. Whole face turned red. He was upset, but he really couldn't say nothing because it was a live period.
Yeah.
It was a live period. But man, I'm telling you, man, I tried to hurt that joker. And then after that, I think he kind of cut down on the live periods. They started getting me up out of there because I was trying to hurt cats. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm trying to win a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it made no sense. I remember screaming and yelling, put Trot with the ones. Why is Trot? But they made, like, it was almost like they put you in a penalty box.
You know what, man? I felt bad for Mark Semino that year because I remember just being on the sidelines and everybody on all the fans on our side was put Trotter in the game. Put Trotter in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it was rough. I remember that year Nate Wayne was there, and he had my jersey. Remember, I came back with 51.
Yes. Yes.
And we was, and you know, every day they would have a different position group signing autographs underneath the tent after practice. So we're signing autographs, and one of the fans yell out, "Take off that 5-4 jersey. That's Trotter's jersey. You don't deserve it." So I was like, I said, hey, come on, man. Come on. We don't do that. We don't do that. So he was like, okay, my bad, Trot. I was like, you know what? At the time, you know, it wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? Because Nate's sitting right there or whatever. And I kind of corrected the fan a little bit. But, man, I think back on it now, man, that's the Eagles fans for you.
Yeah.
When they love you, man, when they love you, they love you. You know?
They love you, man.
That was a special year for us, man. It was a special year for us, because we started out 7-0. Boom. Baller. Right? Offense was jump out on teams. Teams really couldn't get into their run game. And we was just dominating on offense. And the defense was kind of built to kind of stop the pass. They never got opportunity to get into their run game because our offense was so powerful, so potent that year. And we go to Pittsburgh. They're 7-0. We're 7-0. Man, we go down there, man. I'm telling you, we ran out the tunnel. I did a couple stretches. And when I looked at the clock, we was down 21-0. And then you know what happened after that. They just start giving that thing to the bus.
Yes.
I think he rushed for maybe 172, 174. The next week, I got a call. Hey, Trot, we put you back in the starting lineup. Hey, and I just said, all right, Coach, I appreciate it. But I was already expecting the call, you know?
Yeah. Well,
I had my
kept
phone.
saying about how soft in the middle they were with Cimino. I remember screaming and yelling every week on the radio, put Trot in, 54. Put Trot in. And was it Jim who called you? Who called you?
No, I think it was Steve Spagnola. He was linebacker.
Oh,
he called me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was good. Because you said, I'll never forget, you said it was, when you got on the field that day, you knew it was going to be a tough day.
Which day?
The Pittsburgh game.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know just like nobody. I thought we was going to go in there. I thought we was going to jump out the offense because the offense been balling all year. And all of a sudden, their defense made a couple stops. Our defense didn't. We're down 21-0. And the rest of the game was and then that thing to the bus, you know. And I remember standing there, man, during a TV timeout. And the bus walked up to me because I got some playing time that game because that week before, Jim had told me, listen, we're going to play you some more this week, right? So I remember standing there during one of the timeouts, and the bus was just like, man, what's going on over there, man? There's no way in the world you should be not starting, you know. And I just said, man, I appreciate it, man, and kept it moving or whatever. But, man, that year was special because it was special. We knew we had something special, right? Now, I think that Pittsburgh game knocked us back down a notch.
Yeah.
And I think it really helped us. I think we needed to lose that game when we did, and we just kind of went back to the drawing board. They made the adjustment on defense with myself, and then the defense really we felt like we had a more identity, like a toughness. You know what I'm saying? Teams wasn't just going to come out and just say, hey, we're going to run the ball down your throat to try to control the clock to keep your offense. Because that was the goal that year for most teams. Let's keep Donovan and that offense off the field. Because, man, when him and T.O. was out there, man, and the rest of the offense, and man, it was whew.
I remember the other game I remember like yesterday was it was a showdown with the Packers. And it was like for the 1 seed in the NFC. And it was home. And you guys had an amazing first. I think it was like 31-3 at halftime. Like you laid a beating on the Packers. Like the first half, it was like incredible. It was like no doubt who was the champ of the NFC going into the playoffs.
Man, we was loaded, man. We knew, remember before that, we had a lot of time. We would always get close. NFC Championship lose. But we knew going into that NFC Championship game against Atlanta, they stood no chance.
No.
And they had one of the best players in the league. Michael Vick was at the top of his game. They had Warwick Dunn, they had Crumple over there on offense. They had a really solid team, man. We just knew. First of all, the temperature was like it is now there, right?
Yeah.
So we already knew that Dome team didn't want to be in that cold weather, no matter how much they tried to fake it. They tried to come out before the game, cuz had their shirt off and all. It's like, hey man, hey, you can do all that all you want to. We know you cold because we cold.
I remember Mike running onto the big coat. Mike Vick used to, as soon as he ran off the field, he couldn't wait to get off the field and get under the big coat.
Listen, I was looking for the big coat too, and I ain't even lying, cuz. Oh man, it was a special season, man. I remember leaving the stadium, right? First of all, when the game was over with, the confetti coming down. As soon as that last piece of confetti hit, I was off the field. It was too cold out there, And I remember just leaving the stadium, and just people in the streets dancing and celebrating, and just seeing the joy and the sense of pride on their faces, man. It's something I don't forget a lot of stuff in football or whatever, but that's something I'll never forget,
And then you remember when you got word it looked like T.O. was going to play, right? Like him and Rick had been really working hard on the rehab, and then you were like, the beast looks like he's going to play.
Yeah, we got excited, man. We got excited, but me knowing how injuries work, I still knew he wasn't going to be at 100%.
Right.
But I also knew 80% of T.O. is way better than a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And then just the fact of him being on the field was a threat. And nobody imagined he would go out and have the game that he had. Nobody. And it's unfortunate that we lost that game. But listen.
What do you remember from that game? Like, I remember the second half, and all the Spygate stuff and Belichick. It's amazing because, he doesn't get in first ballot Hall of Fame. And you think about the Spygate stuff, and they come out in the second half, and in the teeth of the blitz, dumped right to the back. Corey Dillon, Kevin Falk.
Remember, I'm going to tell you what I remember. I remember, like, there's no way that they're that lucky. It's almost like they knew exactly every call we was in. We call a blitz to the left, they run to the right. We call a blitz to the right, they run a screen to the left. And it was like that almost the whole game. And, because we clearly had the better team.
Yeah.
Clearly. We clearly had the better team. To have, I think we had 4 or 5 turnovers that game and only lose by 3.
Yeah.
Typically, when you have that many turnovers, the ball game is over. Right? We only lost by 3 with 5 turnovers. And I think maybe 3 of those turnovers came in the red zone. So that's 9 points right there,
Yeah.
So I remember asking the coach, one of my coaches years later, I forget which one it was. I wouldn't say his name anyway. But I said, man, you think they was doing something dirty? He said, without a shadow of a doubt, Trotter. Without a shadow of a doubt. And I've asked a few coaches that and players that, and they all felt the same way. And that's why it doesn't surprise me. People making a big stink about, he didn't get into the first ballot Hall of Fame. Well, listen, is Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame? Is he?
No.
Okay. Is Mark McGwire in there?
No. Roger Clemens?
Why not?
Yep. Cheating.
Now, I'm not saying nobody was cheating. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, man, they knew every single one of our calls. And I remember watching the NFC game, the AFC Championship game this year, and had somewhat of an eerie feeling like that. Like,
Oh my God!
I had an eerie feeling.
You know who caught a touchdown pass in the game against you in 04?
Who that?
Vrabel.
Sure did. On the goal line. Yep, on the goal line. Yep, they snuck him out on the goal line. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, I see a lot of stuff in the media. You know, I don't really say nothing, you know, but since we talking about it, you know, you know, and listen, needs to say Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches of our generation. Everybody that plays for him says that, right? But, you know, I don't got no vote on the Hall of Fame, so it ain't really concerned me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get started. I don't know how we got on that subject, but yeah, man, that 04 year, cuz it was special, man. It was special, and to this day, I just hate we couldn't finish that thing off.
I know. Hey, you know, the other thing, because you're right. We dominated that game in every which way. Every which way from. I'll never forget the turnovers were the worst. And Donovan it's a shame because the weather was kind of funky. Guys started cramping up. I don't think we were used to remember the long halftime? That was the beginning of the Super Bowl and the halftime stuff. And I think the long halftime guys were cramping. It was a weird place, Jacksonville. I think that hurt us too in the second half.
I don't know. You know, we knew it was going to be. Andy did a good job preparing us for the long halftime. Hey, when you come in, don't rush. Right. Do your normal process, but it's going to be a lot longer than normal. This and that. So I don't really think that really affected us. I think the moment wasn't too big for us.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like we was tense or anything like that. We played free like we played all year. We knew going into the game we had the better team. Now, obviously, when you get that deep in the playoffs, you can't beat yourself, right? No matter what, you know, people may think about the whole Spygate and all that stuff, you can't hurt yourself. And when you have turnovers, you're hurting yourself. It's hard to win football games when you have turnovers.
What do you remember from 5 and the offense?
I just remember him and T.O. connecting a lot, man, making plays. And when you're in a game, you're just locked in. You're not thinking about turnovers. You're not thinking about this. All you're focused on as a defensive player, how can we get the ball back to our offense? That's the ultimate goal. Try to go 3 and out. If they do get a drive and get in the red zone, let's hold them to 3. That's all you're focused on. And that's the only thing you should be focused on is your job, because you can't control what the offense do. They can't control what you do. Only thing you control is what you do. So that was always our mentality on defense. Turnover, boom, let's go get the ball back. Come back, boom, 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 turnover, let's go get the ball back. Touchdown, all right, hey, let's go make a stop now. We scored. Don't slack off because the offense is scoring or they're moving the ball. Stay ready. If the offense going on a long drive, you may hear myself or somebody, hey, bro, stay locked in, all right? Stay locked in, that type of thing. So we just locked in on our job. That's it.
When you think about Jim Johnson, it's funny because all the talk this week about Vic Fangio and whether or not he was going to retire, and we love Fangio. In this town, we love defensive coordinators, and we love the old guy, like the grizzled guy. That's that's got the wizard. That's kind of the wizard with the long beard type of guy. What do you remember from Jim? And because he was we loved Jim Johnson.
Man, Jim was great, man. He was great, man. Jim Johnson was a huge part of my success in my career. His attacking style defense, his mentality, just always aggressive, no matter what the situation was. When they say he lived by the blitz and died by it, that was his mentality. He knew he was one of the sharpest minds I've ever been around. The game plan, he was always going to send one more guy that you can block. If you want to get Jim Johnson upset, mess up on a blitz. Because, on his blitzes, when you're going all out, those corners are expecting you to get there. They're expecting that football to come out.
Yeah.
If you're blitzing, if Jim Johnson's blitzing, the ball cannot stay in the quarterback hand. If he does, he's going to get lit up. So there's no time for a pump and go or running the deep dig. Everything had to be quick slant, quick out, flare route. So they would tell the cornerbacks flat foot read, which meant you would line up at 7 yards and you wouldn't move.
Right.
You would stay there and then just break on the football because their
There's
corners.
not going to be time for a double move.
No, ain't got no time. The corners had to trust us that we was going to do our job up front. Everybody was going to, stay in their gap, right? And then boom, then we get that free rusher and make the ball come out quicker.
When you think now, like all these years later, and Andy becomes, Hall of Famer, he's probably going to become the winningest coach in the NFL in NFL history. When you think of the evolution of Andy, what comes to mind?
Man, Andy's definitely a Hall of Fame coach. I remember him coming in my second year, his first year with the Eagles, and he really came in, just commanded the room, demanded respect. It's my way or the highway. And he had a goal. He knew what he wanted his team to look like. He knew he needed a quarterback. So he went out and got Donovan, and he's quarterback's coach. So, everybody knows in the NFL, you got to have a quarterback to be successful. Any successful coach has had a quarterback. And, I remember him just coming to the defensive meeting rooms and just talking to us at times, be patient with me and be patient. I'm going to right the ship on the offense side of the ball. Because at that point, our defense was one of the top in the league. We was always ranked in the top 5.
Right? Look at the talent. The talent. It was you and Doc and Hugh.
Bobby, Troy.
Yeah. I mean.
Al Harry.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that was a great defense.
Yeah, Andy he was fortunate from that standpoint. He hired Jim Johnson, which was one of the best moves he made. Another one of his top moves was drafting Donovan, obviously. And then he was fortunate enough to have a nuclear guys there when he got there. And Jim Johnson, under the direction of Jim Johnson, we all kind of just came together, man, and started just taking our games, to another level. And we all just say, yo, on defense, hey, it doesn't matter if they have 10 turnovers, we got to get 11. That was our mentality. And it worked,
And you were so interesting because you would just blow up the A gap. Like Jim wanted you to just, like you were a missile coming in, blowing up the middle of that line.
I couldn't read nothing. I'll just go downhill. Hey, I was young, man. It's one thing I knew how to do. That knew how to come downhill and hit somebody in the mouth. And Jim Johnson loved that about my game. And I remember when they used to run play action, they would release the tight end. They would lead the fullback and the running back up through the inside A gap or B gap, right? For me, that's Mike Lee.
Right.
But they would fake it, and then the tight end would release and try to get behind me. So Jim Johnson would tell Willie T, say, listen, let Trot keep playing downhill. You cover him on the tight end. He said, well, Trotter, if you get too deep, just keep going. So I would come downhill. So they would try to sneak the fullback out in the flats. But I was coming so hard, he had to pick me up. So Willie T would cover me on the tight end, and then I would just blow up the fullback. And then after I got, older and matured and started to see things better, now I could read the lineman, pass blocking, and I didn't need that help. But Jim Johnson really allowed me to, okay, this is what he does best. Let him do that. You cover for him on the back end. And then, and that really helped me because, sometimes if you take away what a guy does best, where does he go from there,
Right. No, and that was the brilliance of coaching. Like you guys were well coached. Like when Andy got there, when Jim and that whole crew, you had Spags. Like look at the tree, Harbaugh. I mean, you think about today's NFL, and it's all the tree from you guys. Like all those coaches were all in that room. It was an impressive group.
Yeah, man. And he has an impressive tree. A lot of guys that went on and been very successful, and not just as head coaches. Offense, defense coordinators, position coaches, and he's definitely he's left a legacy, and he's definitely, in my opinion, a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, You know, it's just it's strange, man, not being in the playoffs. I thought. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't feel like we was gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could just kind of tell during the season we just never could get going.
I mean,
There was times
offensively,
where
it was so hard. Like when you went a stretch without getting a first down, like or completing a pass, it felt like it was just too hard to be able to get there, as well as the defense played.
Even defensively, we was inconsistent on defense, right? You know, when the year we won a Super Bowl, we knew it was on a certain amount of points you was going to score on our defense. And even if a team did drive a little bit, one was going to hold them to 3, or was going to get a turnover. Last year, teams were putting together long drives and finishing those drives with touchdowns. You know, and when the offense is struggling and your defense giving up touchdowns, it was just inconsistent all year. But I at least thought we was good enough to win at least 1 or 2 games into the playoffs. But it didn't happen that way. So, you know what happens.
You know what's funny? We were talking about quarterbacks, and it's almost like if you put Donovan and Jalen together, you'd have a Hall of Fame incredible quarterback because their skills, if you match their skills together, with like Donovan had a freaking cannon. He was huge. Jalen is a complete winner. Like he's clutch, comes up. Like if you married those two guys together, like you would have the greatest quarterback ever.
Well, listen, man. Donovan was obviously outstanding man. And I'm not sure why he hasn't been up for some Hall of Fame votes. And Jalen, man, he's a heck of a player, man. I don't know why he takes as much heat as he does, because people that know football, I ain't gonna say people that know football. I'm just gonna say when you switch offensive coordinators almost every single year, right? He's had one offensive coordinator that got a head coaching job, right? This last one got fired. I'm not sure what happened to the other one. I got to do my research.
2 guys got fired.
Right.
2 guys got jobs.
See what I'm saying? And he's switching every single year.
Yeah.
People think just because a person was on staff, when he move up, it's the same. No, it's not. It's not always the same. A lot of times they'll change up a lot of different terminology, and it's hard, man. It's hard to, you name me what one Super Bowl quarterback that's won the Super Bowl and went on and had a great career that has to change offense coordinators like that.
Right. And the other thing too, as he transitions his game under center, like you need good coaching to help him transition that. Like that's a huge thing.
Like, cuz I'll give you an example, cuz how many people you think work in your building?
In our a ton. Yeah. Not
let's say 100.
Yeah.
150. Now, what if you had to learn everybody's name, birth date, where they were from, every single year?
Yeah, it's a great point.
You know what I'm saying? The turnover, man. So, and that's been kind of his MO even in college. Left there and went to OU, and other coaches that he went, they're getting jobs, head coaching jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the guy's a winner, man. He's a winner. And that's all I care about. And that's his mentality. Some people don't like it, but I guarantee you, he don't care.
How's Junior? I mean, he's got great instincts, man. Kid flows to the ball, tough as nails. How's he?
He's good, man. He's just working. Listen, like he said before, he's living out his dream, right? And he's just working hard every day. He's putting in the work, and his time will come. Just keep. All you gotta do is keep working. Keep stacking great days. That's what I tell him. I mean, I'm gonna give you a prime example. What's his name? 53, ball eagle.
Bond.
Zach Bond didn't play until last year. Before that, he was a special team guy.
Yep.
Come to the Eagles, ball out.
Yep.
Huge contract. So everybody's time is different. Just he loves the Eagles, man. He loves playing ball. He loves getting better. He loves putting in the work. He loves the process. And that's one of the biggest things to make people successful is enjoying and loving the process. And as long as you do that, man, you're gonna get better.
You're Papa Bear with your boys, and it's a beautiful thing to have your sons and how you've raised them into men. Not just football; both are great football players, the whole thing. But you've had a lot of tragedy, and you've been able to keep those boys centered. What is the key to fatherhood in your mind? Like, as you've gone through this journey, and Tammy and this whole thing, what's been the glue to your message to the boys?
Keeping God first, man. First and foremost. I can't. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Keeping God first, having a relationship with God, having a foundation, and continuing to build on that relationship each and every day. I can always tell my boy, I'm not perfect, right? None of us are, but continue to try to have a deeper and more intimate relationship with God each and every day, right? And then my boys see that, and then teaching them, listen, it ain't always about talent, right? It ain't always about being on the right defense or this and that. Man, I've seen a lot of guys that have all the talent in the world and didn't last long in the NFL, right? It's got to be something more than just that. So I said, when you put God first, right? And I don't mean to get too religious on you guys.
No, I love
The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. So all you got to do is just look for God. God will handle all these other things, your desires and the things that you wish to do. And I know my boys, they wish to carry on the legacy, man, which should be their ultimate goal. One, protecting the Trotter name and carrying on that legacy, right? And I appreciate that, because a lot of kids, some kids don't want to carry on a legacy. They may think it's too much pressure, and they see that is the goal is too big. But my boys, they always embraced it. They take it to heart. They put in the work, and most importantly, they keep God first. When you do that, man, listen, sky's the limit.
Trot, you are an amazing man, man. You're a beautiful soul. and not for nothing, man. One of the greatest, brother. I love our chats, man. I love you. You're the best, buddy. Really.
I appreciate you too, man. I just appreciate the friendship, down through the years. And when we see each other, just like, we ain't missed a beat, man. And just keep being you, cuz, man, doing your thing, man. I always love chatting it up with you. And, thank you guys for having me on.
Love you, brother.
All right. Let's get it.
He's a treasure.
Philly legend, man.
Yeah. I love that dude. Like, he's just a great guy, great people, great father. You lose your wife, right? You lose the mother of your children.
So tough.
And, raised amazing boys. He's just, always was just that guy that you loved, man. The middle linebacker mentality, on and off the field, but good man.
They love him, because the last tailgate I was at, he came around on a golf cart and just swarmed with people, man.
Well, that smile, man. He's got the smile that lights up a room.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a beautiful thing. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick TO, and then we're going to go to Santa Clara and visit with our man Bo, who's on the scene. We'll get a whole big kind of tour of the Super Bowl coming up next. But first, here's our friends. Hello, my 4 for 4 brothers and sisters. You're looking for something truly unforgettable this year? I got a great idea. Check out the incredible work from Philadelphia sports artist Jordan Spector over at SpecterSportsArt.com. Now, I own one of Jordan's pieces myself. Trust me, these aren't just posters you hang on the wall. Museum-level artworks of the greatest moments and icons in Philadelphia sports history. His collections come in prints, canvases, even athlete-partnered trading cards. And get this, one of the newest cards actually includes a piece of BG's real game-worn jersey from, that matchup in New Orleans. Remember that against the Chief? It doesn't get better than that. You got a diehard sports fan in your life, or if you just want to treat yourself, this is the kind of gift they'll talk about forever. So head on over to SpecterSportsArt.com. That's SpecterSportsArt.com and grab something epic for the Philly fan in your life. Hey, let's talk about Rothman, all right? When joint pain or injury disrupts your routine, getting the right care should be a hassle. Rothman Orthopedics makes it easy with convenient office locations throughout the region, plus walk-in and urgent care centers when you need help fast. Whether it's a new injury or something that's been bothering you for a while, expert orthopedic care is just around the corner. Rothman Orthopedics has a team for each body part right here in our backyard. Their mission, to restore your mobility, getting you back to doing what you love to do. Rothman Orthopedics. Go to rothmanortho.com/PHLY to book your appointment today. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility is our mission. All right, welcome back. Want to talk a little bowl, VG? What do you
I think so. I mean, there is a game this week, right? A big game.
How about Trotter? Is he the best?
Yeah.
Was it great going back to that boat? Like those, I love those stories. Like I love the retrospective.
Yeah, I mean, it does irritate me that they probably did cheat.
They did cheat.
Yeah.
Those rat bastards,
Yeah.
man. They did cheat.
And like,
Cheating
Trash should
fools.
have a ring, man. Guys like that, that's a good team. They should have rings.
Yeah, Spygate. Oh my God. All right, let's go out to Santa Clara. Where our man
on the ground, he's solid and sound. He's on the hunt for Eagles news. Handsome and astounds, clever and profound. We're talking Eagles with Bo Wolf.
Morning, Bo, on the Xfinity mobile calling line. You're on mute, baby.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Good. Is that your hotel?
My hotel room. Yeah.
We're now give us
Let me get this.
the lay of the land.
Is-
Like,
are you in a double with EJ? Is EJ in a bed behind you laying down? Or?
EJ's taking a shower right now. Yeah, we're splitting it up.
Nice.
No, we're in downtown San Francisco. The like operations here are in downtown San Francisco. Obviously, you know that the stadium's in Santa Clara, but that's way too far away for the league to do stuff there. So everything Radio Row is downtown here at the convention center. Last night, the media night was at like the San Jose Sharks facility. So it was in San Jose, which is itself like an hour away. It was a nice evening, catching up with some interesting people, players and coaches on the Patriots and Seahawks who have some Eagles connections that we talked to them about. And so it rolls on. Radio Row continues today.
what are you like? What's the setup for the week? I guess the parties are all in downtown San Fran.
Yeah, there's a media party tonight that's at like the EA Sports headquarters,
Right.
which they always do. You know, they do it up and spend more money than you would expect them to spend. But that'll be fun. And then yeah, it's Radio Row is you've been there because it's such a funny like cresting wave as the week goes on. Like Monday is pretty slow. They're setting up the big tents and stuff for like the major media people. Everybody sort of gets here. Today will be a little bit busier. You'll get sort of like your C-list people coming in. Wednesday, tomorrow, BG's flying in. That'll be great. And Wednesday is a much bigger day. That's like really the start of these 2 days of madness. And then Thursday is the day where it's like these big brands are bringing in like The Rock or these A-list celebrities.
Yeah.
And, it's like whispering around this huge cavernous convention center where it's like, oh my God, can you believe that, I don't know, Don Draper's here, something like that, and then it's, Myles Garrett and all these guys. And so it's a fun little circus to be a part of.
Yeah, it really is. It's a lot of fun, and guys are you know how it is. They go from station to station, outlet to outlet,
Right.
and then there's a PR guy with them, right? A handler.
Yes.
And the handler's like, make sure they're all brought to you by something like Gillette or some sort of pill, right? Some sort of drug.
They'll hand you a piece of paper. Make sure that you plug this.
Yeah.
Are there people
weight
you
loss
turn
pill or
down?
something.
You're like, I'm not interested.
Yeah. There are. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah.
There's D-listers
sure.
that you go, and then there's like bust out people, like people that you wouldn't like in Vegas. We had what was his name? The Mr. Vegas.
Oh, Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton.
Carrot Top.
Oh. Remember that?
Dude, that'd be awesome to interview Wayne Newton.
He actually was He was. He was actually a blast. It was hysterical.
But the part I hate is let's say it's, I don't know, Brian Billick or something like that. And, trying to go to the handler and being like, hey, man, like, can we get Brian for like 10 minutes on the show? And it's like, you feel so small. But it's part of the job.
I know. You do. You go, and if you don't know the guy, it's the worst. You're talking to the handler. And they like, well, where you at? Hold on. They give you one of
where
those
you at?
deals.
Let me see if I can pencil you in.
Yeah. What's been the scuttlebutt out there with the Eagles and the Mannion Grizzard signing?
So this last night was very interesting on this front because there are three people on the Seahawks who have intimate knowledge of Sean Mannion. The first of them that we talked to was Drew Lock, obviously the Seahawks backup quarterback. And they spent a year together in Seattle when Sean Mannion was sort of ping-ponging back and forth between Seattle and Minnesota. And Drew Lock's face lit up when we asked him about Sean Mannion. And he said that, he wasn't with him for that long, but there are things that Sean Mannion did, like before practice and after practice and during the week, that he has taken and still does to this day. And he said, listen, I try to take stuff from everybody I've been with, but I took more from Sean than anyone I've ever played with. And he said, when they were in the room, it was crazy watching Sean sort of take notes. Like he had his own laptop with already a bank of plays from all the different places he's gone. And he was describing, he's going on and on. He's describing how, when the QB coach would write a play on the whiteboard, Sean Mannion was already drawing it up. He was already ahead of the coach in terms of drawing up what the play was going to look like. And then he also said that it went beyond just sort of the ball knowledge, that he talked about the game he played against the Eagles in that 2023 season. Sean Mannion was on the sideline with him and was it was like he was coaching him up. He was giving him little tidbits about fix this with your footwork. And he was really giving him some good encouragement about keep doing this, just watch out for this. And so he's I think that guy's going to be a star. So that was the most interesting feedback we got. We also talked to Andrew Janocko, who is the Seahawks quarterbacks coach and was Sean Mannion's quarterbacks coach for a year in Minnesota. Similar things. This guy was, it was him and Kirk Cousins, and they were as smart football wise as anybody I've ever coached. Spoke very highly of him. And then we also talked to Clint Kubiak for a few minutes, who coached Sean Mannion as well, one of the many offensive minds who Sean Mannion has played for. And he said, I think you guys got a gem in Philadelphia. So for the people who have been in a building and in the meeting room with Sean Mannion on the Seahawks staff, they were effusive in their praise of Sean Mannion.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And listen, Kubiak fast tracked. He'll be the new head coach of the Raiders. There's something this time of the year with all the news breaking. There's so much action going on, off the field.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it's interesting because obviously they're not going to say anything bad about the guy.
Right.
And I also asked Josh McDaniels about what's going to be his biggest challenge. This is a guy who's only been coaching for 2 years, installing an offense for the first time, play calling for the first time. And he doesn't know Sean Mannion very well, but he says I'm sure he's been around football long enough. He knows how it goes. I don't think that it will be too much for him. And then I was also curious from this guy Andrew Janoko standpoint, this is a guy who's been a coach, has been at this level for a while. Is there any, envy about the fact that this guy's only been coaching for 2 years and all of a sudden he's getting an OC job? And it didn't seem like that. He's happy for Sean Mannion. He thinks he's a talented guy, and Kubiak thinks that the play calling itself is something that he'll have to fail at a little bit.
Right.
But he thinks that he can get it done.
Do you, any word on the quarterbacks coach?
No word yet. I'm very curious to see how that goes, because adding Grizzard makes a lot of sense, and it's a really good indication from my perspective that they do want this to be a different looking offense and not just the Sirianni offense with Sean Mannion papering some stuff over it. But Grizzard is not a guy who has worked with Sean Mannion before, right? And so you would think that quarterbacks coach is the place where Sean Mannion's going to really care about who they bring in. And the other thing that has been interesting talking to other people who know Mannion and some of the guys last night is just the importance of footwork that Mannion is going to harp on at the quarterback position, and how precise the quarterback has to be in marrying the footwork to the routes that are being run. The whole offense relies on that. It's like the number one tenet of the position as far as they're concerned. And so I think they need somebody who Mannion can trust to really emphasize that and get that through and work on that with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for VG will tell you.
Defeat ain't good. Defeat ain't good. Like two and a half step drops.
Yeah, like you got to work on the feet. And then again, that's less Jalen and more the coach. Like the coach has to expect that, demand that, and teach that. Like you got to be able to do that. I'd be curious. Nick Foles as a quarterback coach.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I could see him, though, like really knows that position inside and out. You hear him talk about it. I'd love to get him involved.
Love Nick Foles. As you say, like everything we hear from him, it's very clear that he knows ball. I don't know if I was Nick Foles. I don't know. Coaching is hard work.
Yeah, I know.
He's made a lot of money. He's got a good gig right now.
It feels like he wants to do it. I don't know. Just judge him by some of the stuff he said.
It's a good question for him.
Yeah,
it's a good question for him. I don't know that I would. If I were him, I would want to get into that hard work.
Yeah, but you want to compete, man.
But if you love it, you love it. Yeah,
right. It's all about what it's the truth. It's all about what you love. Is right. All right. Overall vibe of I know EJ and I were talking yesterday about Fangio, and it was kind of weird because I had heard that last week that again he had contemplated retirement and then decided to come back, and then all of a sudden it kind of bubbled back up.
Yeah, I think our read on this is the same, and EJ reported yesterday before the show that Fangio is expected to come back now. I think that the reporting here has just sort of been a couple days behind, right? I think it went, from my understanding, as you say, it went that they entered last week. Vic told the Eagles he was leaning towards retirement. The Eagles knew that this is a thing that has happened with Vic before, and so they were prepared for the possibility of him retiring and had to get their plan Bs together. But they were still all about making sure that Vic was coming back and showing him the love that whatever that requires. And then by the end of the week, Vic said, I can't do anything else. This is all I do. So he decides to come back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was Thursday night, I guess, or Wednesday night. I got a call.
Now I think part of the reason you see it reported as it is now is the Eagles don't want to speak for Vic and all of a sudden upset Vic by saying, "Oh yeah, he's coming back." Right? They know how to caress and handle this relationship.
Yes,
and so they can soft play it as long as they know that Vic is probably coming.
Yeah, I think Vic likes to be. I think likes his love. Like you want to be.
That's fine. He deserves
loved.
it.
No. I agree. Yeah. We all do. Like we all want to be appreciated. I think he's a great coach, and I'm hoping that he saw on social media how much the fans love him because it was
I don't know that I'm
communicated to
hoping
him.
Vic is spending time on social media.
No, it was communicated to him because I know it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys think he was looking for some kind of assurance that, hey, we're going to open up the offense a little bit? You won't
No.
have to hold teams to 13 points for us to win?
No.
No?
Nope.
You think he got a pay bump, Cuz?
Maybe.
Okay, got to show him some love and a few extra meatballs.
What surprised me, but I don't think he's looking at it like the offense. Like those guys look at it singularly, like, all right, my job, my defense. I mean, you're trained to look at it that way. Look, we just had Trotter on, and you don't even think about the offense. You just know about your gig, your job, and that's where your focus is.
Now, one thing that's interesting, and I don't believe that this was really a part of the conversations with Vic, but this is an offseason that has to be about the offense, and their goals have to be about retooling the offense and Vic coaching the group that he already has. Like, I don't expect any big time additions to the defense this offseason, and so I'm sure Vic understands that, and I don't even know if he was worried about that. But it's not like 2 years ago where it's like, okay, you come here and we're gonna get you some stuff. That is not the case.
Yeah, I don't think
that they need it. Yeah.
No, I mean, I love this defense. The only thing
they're going to need to figure out a safety. They're going to need to figure out if they're keeping Reid Blankenship or finding a different safety off the veteran free agent.
I think Reid's staying.
Okay, that's interesting. And I think that makes sense. Maybe like a 2-year guaranteed deal. They got to figure out what dice roll they're going to make on the outside corner spot, and then they can decide if Jalen Phillips' market is not up to his expectations. Maybe there's like a short-term reunion kind of deal.
Yeah.
But the money that they spend is going to have to be, and more importantly, the draft pick equity is going to have to be on offense.
All offense. You got 2 years of going all in on offense now.
I agree. It's why I thought that they didn't necessarily play the draft as well last year, because there was a chance to get ahead of the offense.
I think they wanted to. I just think
players.
it didn't fall their way. From what I heard, they were just disappointed about how the thing fell. Sometimes the board kind of doesn't fall your way.
Yes. Well, there was the third round when they try to move down, and they go down 3 spots, and they had 2 offensive linemen they were hoping to draft, and both guys get blocked. So that's bad luck. But it's also, if you love a guy, take a guy.
Yeah.
I think that second round pick. Listen, like Jahan Campbell's a very promising young player. I think it remains to be seen if that investment is going to be worth it, especially willing to trade up for him when that could have been an offensive lineman. But it's the second round pick. It's the Makuba pick that I really look at, because Makuba himself was outside of consensus for like the safety board, right?
Yeah.
Like Jonas Sanker and I forget the guy's name from who's the Xavier Watts from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like those guys were higher ranked. They ended up having better rookie seasons. You could have moved down from there and taken a safety, or that's when you could have taken. There actually weren't, like, the offensive line board had that is a part where they got unlucky.
Hey,
but
Bo,
you could
hang
have
in
moved
one
down.
second.
You could have taken Fannin. Go ahead.
Yeah, hang on one second. Because we're in overtime. OT. You know what we do in OT, right? Make sure if you're watching on streaming channels, any of our stuff, come to YouTube, like and subscribe. That comes right to your phone. We appreciate it.
This is officially Bover time, if I'm correct, when I watch the Eagles show.
It is Bover time.
Yes.
We are in Bover time. That's correct.
That's right. So sometimes it's Lindsay time, sometimes it's EJ time, but yeah.
Yeah, Bover time just works. Let's face it. Sometimes it just
good.
works. So as we approach, as we are in the Bover time, what is your plans for the rest of the week? Like, and what do you want to get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to hear what some of the other insiders can tell us about, what lies ahead for the Eagles. EJ talked to Diana Rossini last night, and her expectation is AJ Brown gets traded, probably for a second round pick, and that'll be that. I think the expectation around the league is that AJ is done with the Eagles. I know that the Eagles would like to bring him back. We'll see how those conversations go. I'm curious about their perspective on the Eagles coaching search and Nick Sirianni's standing, and how safe he is. And then just sort of enjoy the circus here as everybody comes to Radio Row.
That sounds good, buddy. Well, listen, enjoy yourself. We'll be reading following. What's your schedule, you and EJ, today?
We are live today at 4:00 Eastern time. Should have a nice bevy of guests to talk about Jalen Hurts and all the rest. Tomorrow is 4:30, and then we're back at 4:00 on Thursday. So should be a fun week.
All right, 4:00 today, 4:30 tomorrow, 4:00 Thursday. Make sure you're watching as the guys are live from San Fran. Very cool. My brother, we love you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Bo Wulf on the Xfinity mobile calling line. What was that about?
I don't know. We got ad people running through the offices.
Was that Kim?
Yes,
Racing
Kim and
through?
Nick.
They were like running.
Running out of Jamie's office.
Is it-
God knows what goes on in Jamie's office. I'd be running out of there too.
All kinds of sounds.
And weird stuff. It's always hot in there.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
come from Jamie's office
Yeah. It's,
that are like subhuman.
yes. Kind of weird den thing going on over there.
Yeah.
There he is.
You're scaring me, buddy. He came out of his hole.
Yeah. He did look like a little groundhog popping his head out.
Yeah. Keep on scratching. All right, let's do some nugs.
Yeah, we can do some nugs if you feel like
What do
it.
we got? I want to do some nugs, and we'll go back in the day.
Beaches nuts, nuts. It's just time for beaches nuts, beaches nuts, nuts.
Go to Wildwood? Who doesn't love Wildwood? The boardwalk's
Wildwood.
great. It's fantastic.
Yes.
You ever think you go to Wildwood to do a little ice skating? That's what they're doing down there now. Like, I guess the shallow ocean has frozen up this week. This was from the weekend. So today, maybe you can't do it. But this is what they're doing at the weekend down in Wildwood. It's like they're playing pond hockey. You could have a hockey game on the ocean down there.
Oh, my God.
This is weird times, dude. Weird times.
Frozen ocean with the current and the salt?
Weird, right? But yeah, they got blades on. They're skating.
Wow, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. Do you know Jarrell Miller? He's a
No.
boxer.
Uh-uh.
Apparently he went to his, I don't know if he said he went to his mom's. He went to wash his hair and put something on his head and said he thought it was shampoo and it took his hair off. So he had a big boxing match. So he went to his barber guy and they put some hair on him. Did you see this?
I saw it. I saw. Wait, I saw it.
Yeah, here it goes. Here it goes. Boop. This next shot. He won.
He won?
Yeah, he lost his hair, but he won the fight.
He came back and won that fight?
Yes, he did.
I just saw the hair fly up.
People were celebrating. People were getting pictures with the hair on it,
Oh,
on those passing it around.
He won the fight?
Yeah,
I saw
thought
the
for sure he was a loser.
He had
Yeah,
to lose.
nah, he won. He was a good
So
guy.
what happened? So what did he put on his
He
hair?
says he went to like his mom, or I think he said his mom's. He thought it was shampoo, it was some kind of ammonia or something.
Oh, man.
Took his hair off.
Oh, that's
He's lucky he didn't get
messed up.
burned. There's the shredder on MLB. I think is it a machine? Cranks out numbers.
Yeah.
This one will really warm your heart. The shredder released the top 10 catchers in Major League Baseball for this coming season. And JT Realmuto is not on the list. Big dumpers, number 1, William Contreras, Will Smith, Drake Baldwin, Alejandro Kirk, Gabriel Moreno, Yonder Diaz, Sean Murphy, Ivan Herrera, and Shea Langeliers.
From Oakland. Yeah.
Do you know what all 10 of these guys have in common? They all make less than JT Realmuto.
I mean, in fairness to them, like you weren't going to get those guys, you know?
I know.
At least O'Hoppy's not on that list.
Oh, that would have been a
that would
real.
have been a kick in the jump.
Yeah, he's probably 11.
But you can't, like, what are you going to do? Like, you had to pay.
I know. Well, they didn't. They could have overpaid for something else. But Chicago White Sox. making moves I really like. They signed Murakami, third baseman infielder,
Yeah.
to make him feel at home. They've installed the first ever MLB bidet.
Wow.
He requested it, and they're doing it. I hope this breaks through to all kinds of future clubhouses. No more of the George Brett hemorrhoid stuff. The bidet is a thing of wonder. You don't bidet, do you?
Yeah,
You do?
bidet in Europe is.
No, you don't have a bidet at your house?
No.
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 I will work on this.
You have a bidet at home?
You don't understand. I have a bidet.
You do?
I am also an ambassador of the bidets. I've tweeted out so much. Yes. Everyone.
Yeah. Yeah,
100%.
I agree with you, but I don't have one. You have one at home? Yeah. You do?
Yeah. They're like $40. You hook them up. Easy.
It's a great housewarming gift for buddies.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Clean asses, 2025.
We like them clean.
I put one on our registry.
No, you have
Really?
to. You have
You
to.
did, Jules?
I did.
Will wake me up too. Better than a Wawa cup of coffee.
Oh, especially now because I don't have the heated one.
Oh,
Pure cold
You gotta
water.
get the heated
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So listen to this. I'm a bidet influencer. I have tweeted or on X. I have mentioned bidet so much that the company reached out to me and they're like, "Oh, we'd like you to have the newest model because you're such a fan of the bidet."
Really?
So I think I can score you a bidet for free. I'm not going to install. It's a quick install, but
yeah.
I'll get you one.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh,
bidet
thanks, man.
influencer.
Look at that. That's impressive.
Yeah, right. All right, you know who I got my eye on for the draft, the football draft.
Yes.
Jennings Dunker. Well, I think this is the most important stat you're going to like. How much coffee does he drink before practice? 36 ounces of black, just black coffee. This is our man, the mullet, coffee, Iowa.
Yep.
See a nice.
I do about
Fifth round.
36 ounces every morning.
I know you do.
Maybe more. I do in 3 stages.
Oh yeah, what are the stages of Mr. Gargano's coffee?
So I wake up 5:30,
Mm-hmm.
have a cup, 3 pods of espresso,
Okay.
right? Longo, right? The long ones.
Yeah.
I take Anthony to the bus stop. I come back. I have another cup. And then I stop on the way at Wawa and get
So
another cup.
all
Big
right.
one.
Yeah, so there's 3 stages.
Yeah.
And then is that it?
No.
Once the day continues
No,
on?
I had, like yesterday, I had to go pick Anthony up from St. Augustine, and I had a cup on the way down.
Was
Because
this
that's
made
a
or Wawa?
45-minute drive.
Just a
I
Wawa
made it at home.
Okay.
And then I had another cup after that on my
God.
way to basketball practice.
Your heart's just
Like
tapping out.
7:45. We had a
7:45?
7:45 practice. So I left the house at like 7:15
Mhm.
and grabbed another cup for the ride. I'm a big ride and sip.
Yeah, but you don't sip like an Italian soda? Just a coffee.
No, just coffee.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yesterday I had 5 coffees. Today I know I'll have at least 4 because we have a game tonight.
Oh, the stress coffee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back in the day.
Back in the day. My cousin Joey was singing back in the day. He said, back, back,
good,
back,
yeah.
back.
We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. We're going back, 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 back. Back in the day with True Mark. Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia Spectrum, February 3rd, 1976.
1976.
Yes. The 1976 NBA All-Star Game.
Wow.
Played on a Tuesday. The last All-Star game played on a weeknight. That is your MVP.
What team?
Washington. He
Washington.
put up 16 points, which is not the leading scorer, so I don't know why he got it. I think he was towards the end.
Washington. Give me the initials.
DB.
DB. Wow.
Coach of the East, your favorite, Tommy Heinsohn.
Oh, ew. So he played for the Washington
yes,
Bullets?
yes. Del Collins and George McGinnis were your Philadelphia 76er representatives.
I don't know. Dave?
Dave?
Bing.
Bing, there you go. Dave Bing.
Dave Bing.
Rudy
Wow.
Tomjanovich was on that Eastern team.
Tuesday. My cousin, I just brought him up, was at that game.
Really?
My Uncle Carmen took him to the game.
Joey?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a little boy, and there was a player by the name of Slick Watts.
All right.
All right, played for the Sonics. He was bald head and had the green headband.
Oh,
And
nice.
he got Slick Watts' headband.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. On the broadcast that day was Brett Musburger and Mendy Rudolph. Who's Mendy Rudolph?
I don't know. Mendy Rudolph.
Never heard of him.
You know, I probably watched that game. I probably was a little boy watching it.
Mendy Rudolph was an American professional basketball referee for 22 years.
And he was the
He
color
went to
guy?
color.
He was a
Color
ref?
commentator, yes.
Well, tell me the ref. There's hope for you, buddy. All right, that's going to do it for us. Jules, great job, Jules.
Yeah.
We love you. We miss some of our people, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
We miss our people, all right? Andrew and Tyler. Rich, who I adore. It's been tough go, man. This being a startup company and not having enough power to allow us to do what we do. It's a hard thing. So we love our people, and hopefully we'll see them again. It's tough. If you could, try to support us to do what we can, because we're trying, right? Very hard. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Y'all silly like the mayor.